He called me Brendan on the broadcast, and I'm like, how dare you?
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our second semifinal matchup of the day. My name's Brennan Ferreira, and I'm here with my colleague Adam Kirschenblatt, who's going to provide some color commentary for us today. In this matchup, we have CSKA Moscow versus the Western Canada Selects. And just a little bit of history on both teams. Western Canada finished in 7th place through the preliminary rounds with a 3-2-0 record. They have faced CSKA Moscow in the tournament already, losing 4-3 in their 4th game of the tournament. And Jordan Gavin leads the team offensively with 10 goals and 4 assists through the tournament so far. What do you think of Gavin so far?
Well, the top line of Gavin Mercick and Clark Caswell has been one of the more fantastic lines in this tournament. They all play off of each other so well, and they're very highly skilled. So Western Canada, they played against CSKA earlier in this tournament. It was a very close 4-3 game against CSKA, and CSKA obviously got the better of them as they still have a perfect record in this tournament. So Western Canada, or CSKA, had goals from Alexei Dontsov, Arseny Vorobev, Daniela Poroshkov, and Matvey Shurovin. I apologize about the names, me pronouncing the names. While Western Canada, Macklin Celebrini, Thomas Mercick, and Jordan Gavin all had goals for them. So CSKA, to get to this point, in the round of 16, they overcame the Czech Knights 7-4. The Czech CSKA had the lead from an entire game, but the Czech Knights were very pesky in trying to get back in it. Then later in the day, they held on, really. They beat Finland 5-1, but Finland was very dominant in the offensive end. But Finland, just like CSKA has been all season, or all game, or all tournament, they have been able to capitalize on any chance that they get.
Yeah, they really have. And one noticeable thing I've noticed so far in the playoffs, the two other teams that finished 5-0 have been knocked out of contention for the medal, the gold medal here. Pro Hockey losing their semifinal matchup just moments ago, and the Silver Lions losing yesterday.
Well, that just opens the door right up for CSKA, doesn't it? Because they were probably just as good, if not better, than some of those teams, but they ended up having to play in the round of 16 because of goal differential.
Yes, they just couldn't get their goal differential up there with the other top two teams, Pro Hockey and the Silver Lions, who really took control of this tournament. And starting in net for Western Canada, we have Brenner Fife, number 31. And over in the other net, we have Mikhail Egorov as things get underway here in this semifinal matchup. CSK has it in their zone, pass it through the middle, but it gets intercepted, and that's Caswell who brings it in over the line. And that's going to be number 5, Rodionov, who had it behind his net. And it's held in at the line by Mercick. They get it towards the front, and Caswell was on the backhand. Gavin goes for it in the far corner. He turns, gets away from his defender, and fires it towards the net, and that was blocked. It's held in at the line. And here's Vaughn again with the shot. That's Corbin Vaughn, the defenseman, who wears number 14. His brother Jackson Vaughn wears number 15 and is a forward. And Vaughn gets it in the neutral zone, passes it off to Mercick, who brings it back over the line, and that's just going to be offside.
So Brenner Fife, the starting goalie for the Western Canada, he plays for the Lethbridge Pee Wee Hurricanes. They are 24-14-5 this season, which is ranked 54th in Western Canada. His strength, that he said, is being a team player. He works hard, and the fact that he's a lefty, which makes it harder for teams to shoot on because they're not used to it.
That really does throw off a shooter when they're bearing down on a goaltender late in the game, as it gets thrown out by number 72, Zaitsev, Maxim Zaitsev. There's 2 Zaitsevs on this team, both with identical names, Maxim Zaitsev. The only distinguishing factor I have for them is their numbers. As the puck comes out of the zone, and this is going to be number 9 carrying it over the line. That gets it into the slot, and he just couldn't get enough on that shot. And that was Dontsov. And Dontsov plays it back towards the line. He try and get a shot off from the point, but that got blocked. And here comes number 7 out of the zone for his team, but that's just going to be offside.
So for Western Canada to get to where they are today, they also had to go through the round of 16, where they utterly destroyed the Latvian Selects for the second time this tournament by a 9-0 score. And then they had to come back, and they had a very tight victory over the SKA Lions, and as you said, they were perfect up until that point. They beat them 6-5. So Western Canada, they have overcome a lot to get to this point, and they gonna get to try and get revenge on CSKA.
They really are, and this is probably the matchup I was looking forward to most, as number 97 carries over the line and he falls there, and that's going to be a penalty for tripping, and that's going against CSKA Moscow, as that was number
97 is Jesse Heslop.
He came over the line with the puck, and he looked to make a move towards the middle, but he lost control, as this is going to be number 6, Ivan Barbashin, going to the box for Moscow. And it's along the far point. That's number 17 who has it. And they've got it along the far wall. They take a slap shot that goes down low. And here's McLaughlin with it. He fanned on his shot. And Caswell went to intercept, but he couldn't. And McLaughlin's going to go back for it in his zone, as CSKA cleared the puck. And they pass it up the far wall, and they get it in over the line. There's Gavin with the puck. He's looking to pass it. He just gives it back for number 17, Celebrini. And Celebrini's got it again at that far point. Throws it to McLaughlin at the high point. McLaughlin walks down low, finds Caswell in the corner. And Caswell passes it back up for McLaughlin. He throws it over for Celebrini, who fires one, but that got blocked out in front. And Mercick goes for it in the corner, and Gavin will join him. And they play it back for Celebrini, who throws it over to McLaughlin. And they play a little give and go. And Celebrini has an opportunity as he brought it down low. And it comes back to McLaughlin. who winds up and gets that shot blocked off his stick. That was blocked off of number 8, Koshkov stick, and back for it in his own zone is Celebrini, who brings it up ice, carries it through the neutral zone and over the blue line, and he gives it off for number 3, Hutzel. And Hutzel's there with it again. He throws it back to the line. Sorry. And it's behind the net. And it's held in by Hutzel. And for the moment, but here's number 52, Porshkov, who threw it into the zone. And the penalty's over, back to 5-on-5. And there's a goal by Moscow, and that was scored by number 71. Nikita Frolov, the captain, who just got into the slot and roofed it past the goaltender Fife for the opening goal of the game.
Well, Nikita Frolov, the captain of the CSKA team, he was goalless in the preliminary round, but he got a big goal yesterday against Team Finland to get them going in that game. And now that's the big goal here against Western Canada for them to get going here and lead the way to possibly the championship game.
It really is, and who better to lead a team into a championship game than their captain, who in the preliminary round I thought he played very strong. He just couldn't net the puck, but he was able to in this playoff so far, as that's going to be a penalty, and it looks like it's going against Western Canada.
The crowd is going wild down there after that goal. They were already very noisy with that drum that we've heard all tournament. But after the goal, they're chanting CSKA, C-S-K-A. And you can we are above them right now, so it's not an easy feat for us to hear them as clearly as they are.
Yeah, as that's going to be Marek Arpin, who's going to the box off of a hit from behind in the far corner in his own zone. And here's Moscow with the power play now and the chance to go up by 2 in this first period. And it's thrown down below the net for number 9. And it comes out of the zone. And it gets picked up by 28. Who threw it over the line. That's Donsov with it. He's in the far circle, passes across for Okanev, who couldn't get it past Fife on the near side. And it's thrown down and low by Maxim Zaitsev, number 72. McLaughlin's in the corner with it, battling with Porshkov. And Donsov came in there to help him out, but the puck almost gets cleared. It was held in at the line by number 10, Shuravin. And Fife covered up, and there's some rough stuff in front there.
Well, Western Canada took exception to the snow job that Fife got after covering that puck. And then after one shove came, of course, the CSKA teammates are going to come and right the ship as far as they're concerned.
Yes, and every team is going to defend their goaltender when he gets a snow shower like that out in front. As the puck goes up into Moscow's bench, we'll have another face-off to the left of Fife.
Well, the goal scorer for CSKA, Nikita Frolov, this season for his team, he has 7 goals and 8 assists in 13 games, so it's more than a point per game. And
as I said before, all throughout the tournament, I've thought he's looked very dangerous out there on the ice. He just hadn't been able to score in the preliminary rounds, as it's along the far boards, and it's passed up to the point for Shuravin, and he fires it towards the net, and Fife saw that, and he grabs onto it and makes sure that it doesn't come out.
I am just admiring those cheers down there. It's almost like we're watching the movie Gladiator when the crowd is yelling, "Kill, kill." And I don't think they're quite saying that. I don't speak Russian. I'm sorry for everybody in Russia that might be listening. But this is a very lively crowd, and it is a different culture than what we're used to in North America, because we generally don't get those chances during gameplay.
We really don't, and I've actually enjoyed it quite a lot because it just shows you how passionate other nations are about this. Enjoyed it quite a lot because it just shows you how passionate other nations are about this great game, and it just shows how they are able to show their passion level differently than North Americans.
And part of the reason for this tournament is to learn about the other cultures, and that is what we're doing just by the fans here.
Yes, it is, as Mersic almost intercepted it at center ice, and it gets picked up by number 71, Froloff, who throws it up forward to picked up by number 71, Froloff, who throws it up forward to Proshkov, who tried to get over the line, but he couldn't, as that's Vaughn turning it up ice for Gavin, who gets over the line. And there's Caswell in front on the backhand, and he couldn't beat the goaltender, Egorov, and it's behind the net, and we're back to 5-on-5, and it's in the near corner. That's picked up by Caswell, who throws it around the boards for Gavin, and Gavin brings it to the far corner, and there's going to be a penalty here.
And that will be against Western Canada, as Gavin had the puck, so they wouldn't have blown the whistle if it wasn't. So that is if it is, and which I'm pretty sure it is, that is a bad penalty to take 200 feet from your own end.
It really is, but I think
no, it's against CSKA, but it doesn't make sense why they would have blown the whistle at that stage. But see, if Canada had the puck in the offensive zone, looking to make another play at scoring the tying goal, I don't know why they would have stopped play.
Yeah, it was an odd situation, but Arseny Frolof's going to be sitting in the box. Or no, sorry, number 72. Maxim Zaitsev is going to be sitting in the box as it's played down low by Celebrini for Gavin. Gavin throws it around the net for Caswell, who's in the near corner, and he passes up to the near point for McLaughlin. And McLaughlin throws it right back to Caswell, who throws it towards the net, and there's a far rebound that came out right to the point, and there's a goal, and that's going to be Caswell at the side of the net, who put in a rebound.
That is Clark Caswell. He now has, that is his 5th goal of the tournament. He now has 5 goals and 8 assists. 3 of those goals have come during the playoff rounds.
He's really stepped it up for his team in the playoff round so far, as he's come up big to tie things up here before the 10-minute mark of this opening period of our second semifinal game today. And it comes forward, and that's Kenton, who tried to get a shot off in this high slot, but it's held in, and that's Ricci down there battling, trying to hold it in with Kenton, and it's played around behind the net, and it comes out of the zone, but Kenton picks it up immediately and gets right back over the line, and they're trying to hold it in along the near boards, and it comes out, and this is going to be number 11 carrying it out, Matveyko, and it goes down low for Corbin Vaughn, who plays it up looking for Ricci, and that went right through his legs down the ice, and icing gets waved off as 51 Kuramoto gets down there. And they're battling in the near corner. No one can come out with it yet. The ref gets in there to make sure that the puck wasn't being pinned down, and it's passed out, and Corbin Vaughn tried to hold the line, but it gets played back into the zone, and this is going to be number 6 going back for it, Arpin, and they're trying to get it out along the near boards, and they do, but it's picked up by number 5, Rodenoff, and there's going to be a whistle for offside.
Well, going back to that penalty call still doesn't make any sense because it was too many men on the ice for CSKA. But once again, Canada had the puck in the offensive zone, so I'm not sure why the whistle would have been blown dead or the play would have been called dead. In the end, it just would have been, it worked just as well for Western Canada because they scored on the ensuing face-off.
And Heslop brings it over the line. It gets played back, and that was Hutzel who tried to get it towards the front. Heslop's in the far corner, and there's the other Gavin, number 15, going after it. That's in the far corner. Or no, other Vaughn, sorry.
There are two of them.
Yes. And they throw it out towards the front of the net. And Donsov was there, but he couldn't get a hold of it for CSKA as they have it in the offensive zone. And that's cleared by Celebrini. And back for it is going to be Shervin, as number 15, Vaughn, was pestering him. And it gets brought back in and thrown towards the net by number 52. And it comes out again, and that's Heslop who tried to intercept it. And that's Okanev who passed it off to Donsov, who brings it over the line. Donsov takes it down low behind the net, and he keeps skating around. They get it out in front, and there's a shot, and that's stopped by Fife. And there's a rebound, there's a goal, and that's scored by number 52, Danila Porshkov, who picked up the rebound after Fife thought he had it, and it came loose, and he was able to put it in behind Fife.
Well, Western Canada isn't happy that the whistle didn't get blown sooner because Fife thought he had it. There was some pushing and shoving in front of the net, and Fife was moved because of it. And then when the puck squirted free, Porshkov came in and scored.
And CSKA Moscow is now up 2-1 with 9 minutes left to go here in this opening period. Will Western Canada be able to answer and tie things up before the period ends? As Gavin intercepts it in the offensive zone and plays it down low looking for Caswell. And Caswell tried to play it out front for Gavin, but couldn't get it to him in time. And here's Porshkov, the goal scorer, bringing it through the neutral zone and over the blue line. He gets another shot off, and Fife plays that away with the blocker. And he gets thrown towards the net again, and it's loose in front. And Seeley plays it to Fife, who will cover it up for a face-off.
Well, Daniela Porshkov, he is a sniper on this team. Now he has 8 goals and 1 assist in this tournament, so he is a finisher for the CSKA. Porshkov, he is the son of the general manager of CSKA, Atlanta Porshkov. He's been playing with the team since 2015. He's averaging over 2 points a game for the team with 11 goals, 16 assists in 13 games.
Well, definitely a highly talented offensive player. As we've seen in this tournament, he's been right around the net a lot of the time. As the puck gets brought out, and here's number 51, Kuramoto, who tried to play it back for Ricci, and that was just behind him. And Jackson Vaughn couldn't hold it in. And it gets played up for Kuramoto, who just tosses it up. And it gets played to Ricci, who was in the slot, but he couldn't get a shot off as it comes out of the zone. And this is going to be number 22, Mikhail Komarov, who gets it in over the line. And Fife will make a stop and hold on for a whistle.
Well, Western Canada, they need to find a way to clean up in front of the net. Brenner Fife has had a lot of traffic there and has been impeding his ability to make the big save when he needs to. So they need to find a way. The defensemen in particular need to be able to clear the net, and when the puck does get there, they need to get it away from the slot quickly.
Yes, and McLaughlin gets it behind the net. And it's played out for Caswell, who brings it in over the line. He plays it back for Mercick, who fires it wide of the net. And it gets fired down the ice, and icing gets waved off as McLaughlin gets back for it first. And he'll play it for Celebrini, who plays it up for Mercick, who throws it to Gavin, and he gets over the line. Gavin cuts towards the front of the net and gets a shot off. That was steered aside by Gorbachev, and there's a goal, and that's scored by number 71, I believe, Celebrini.
I believe that was Berkeley Catton that scored the goal.
And we'll see who it is. And I believe that I actually think that was number 3 for Western Canada. Who scored the goal? Owen Hutzel, who came on.
All right, so yeah, we're sitting a little farther away, and it's hard to see the numbers from where we are. But Owen Hutzel, that is his second goal of the tournament, his first in the playoff round. So a big goal coming from a defenseman for this Western Canadian team, and this game's tied. As there's a little bit of a scuffle going on again in Brunner fight.
Yeah, there really is, and that's probably going to happen a lot tonight, as I think Western Canada is going to have a hard time getting bodies out and away from Fife, because the European teams in this tournament, they seem to have a lot of bigger and taller players than the North American teams. As the puck comes out into the neutral zone, and that's just going to be offside.
So a little bit more about Owen Hutzel. He plays for the Southwest Zone Oil Kings, which were only 15, 17, and 2 this season, which is ranked 87th in the Western Canada. He sees himself as a good skater with the puck and a good team player, and playing in this WSI is his greatest achievement so far. He's also a very big Edmonton Oilers fan, as he lists his favorite hockey memory as watching a playoff game in Edmonton this year. That must have been a first for him. Well, I think it was a first for him.
Yeah.
Edmonton hasn't been very good in recent years.
And that puck gets brought out and it's thrown to Ricci, who gets over the line. He tried to get a shot off in the slot, but had no room, as Canton played it down into the corner. And there's going to be a
tripping
penalty
call to CSKA.
So now Western Canada, they have tied things up, and they have an opportunity to take their first lead of the game, as that's going to be number 9, Alexei Donsov, going to the box for CSKA. So a big opportunity for Western Canada with 6:15 left to go in this opening period, as Celebrini holds it in at the line, and he gets a shot off, and that went just wide. And McLaughlin plays it down low, and they get it in for Mercick, who is near the front of the net, but he couldn't get a clean shot off, and the puck gets thrown right down the ice. And Celebrini is going to be the first one back for it, as he turns to try and lose his defender, and he passes it off for Mercick, who gets it over the line. And Mercick's down low along the far boards. They get it up to the point for McLaughlin, who passes it off for Celebrini again, who risks one high and wide. McLaughlin gets to the far point to hold it in, or near point, and plays it over for Celebrini again. And they play a little give and go as McLaughlin gets it back at the point, who tried to throw a slap pass down low for Caswell, who took it behind the net and tried to play it in front, but that was blocked, and it comes out of the zone. There's 50 seconds left here in this power play for Western Canada, as McLaughlin brings it through the neutral zone and gets it in. And here's Vaughn, who played it back, and they get it. That was Celebrini, who took a slap shot that went high and wide. McLaughlin has it, plays it down for Ricci, and it's down behind the net right now, and they get it towards the slot, and it's held in. And Celebrini tried to hold it in, but he couldn't get it there, and Ricci now brings it back over the line. There's 15 seconds left in this power play, and Western Canada has one more opportunity to get a shot off. And they try and throw it across for number 6, Arpin, but it was behind him. They get a shot off now, and that went just wide of the net. And here's Canton, who has it at the far wall. Donsov's back on the ice, and the puck almost comes out of the zone, as Hutzel was just able to hold it in. And they get it down low, and Vaughn gets a backhander off, and that was handled by Igorov, sorry. And the puck goes in on Fife, who leaves it for Hutzel. And Hutzel passes it up for Ricci, who comes in through the neutral zone and brings it over the line. And the puck's turned back the other way. And here's a chance for Donsov, who's alone, and he throws it towards the net. And that went through Fife, but it went outside of the net. And Ricci gets it in over, or Mercick tried to steal it as it went over the line. And here's Gavin, who brings it over, and that's going to be offside.
And that was an unfortunate sequence for that offside. It was just a player change happening. Unfortunately, Canada or Western Canada's bench is within the CSKA zone, so anybody coming on the ice will be offside as they leave it.
Yes, and that is for the long change first period, where the defenders have a longer way to go to their bench, and that was almost tipped in front of the net as Moscow is bringing it out, and that was number 16 who passed it off, and here's number 22 bringing it over down low, and that was Mikhail Komarov, and he still has it down low in the near corner now, and there's a little battle down low, and it comes out. Caswell passes it up for Mercick, who carries it through the neutral zone and over the line, and Mercick cuts wide, throwing it towards the front of the net, looking for Gavin, who couldn't receive the pass, and it gets intercepted by Moscow behind the net, and they get it out into this offensive zone, and that was Dmitry Utva who brought it over the line, and that was intercepted in the slot by number 9 Ricci, who lost it in the neutral zone, and back comes Maxim Zaitsev over the line with the puck, and that shot got deflected and into the netting.
Well, one of the players that has been very dynamic for the CSKA team is Alexei Dontsov, who took the penalty but also had that fast break rush. He is leading CSKA in this tournament with 6 goals and 5 assists for 11 points so far in this game, and he has really been the star of this team.
He really has, leading them offensively as Canton comes over the line, and he gets turned into the near corner, and that's picked up by number 8 Koshko, who brings it over the line, and he brings it around the net, backhands it towards the front, but no one was there to pick up the pass for CSKA. Now it was played out of the zone by Kuramoto at the line, and he gets it back in the neutral zone. He tries to get over the line, and he gets halted there for the moment, and it comes up the line, and here's an opportunity for 11 of Moscow, who got held up. Ian Matveyko, he had trouble getting around the referee. There's a shot towards the net that Ricci blocked, and he's got a chance to get behind the defense, but that was number 24 getting back and breaking that up, as it gets intercepted in the neutral zone again. And they're battling in between the benches, and that's tipped in by Koshko behind the net, and that's Hutzel who will go back for it, and he plays it around for McLaughlin, and McLaughlin tries to backhand it along the boards, and it's thrown towards the net, and it ends up in the near corner, and pinching down was Alexei Rodionov as the puck was played up for Vaughn, but he couldn't handle the pass. That's going to be offside as Moscow tried to bring it over again, and it's thrown down low again, and Vaughn will go back to retrieve it. And we have 22 seconds left here in the opening period. We're still tied at 2. And Moscow is looking to get a shot towards the net and maybe go into the intermission with a lead, but I don't think they'll get it, as there's 3 seconds left on the clock, and there's a shot towards the net, and that's fought off by Fife as we end the first period in a 2-2 tie. What do you think both teams are going to need to do heading into the second period?
Well, I think if you are Western Canada and you are told you're going to go into the second period with a draw, they would take it, because this CSKA team is lethal whenever they make a mistake. And if they're tied, it means they haven't made a lot of mistakes. So CSKA, they know what they can do. They know they're going to get their opportunities at some point. So for them, it's just status quo. For Western Canada, it's just tightening up defensively, making sure CSKA can't put out that long pass to get the breaks in the 2-on-1s.
It really is. And Western Canada, they really played an up-paced tempo to that first period, playing a lot of time early on in the offensive zone and not giving CSKA Moscow a lot of time in their end. And CSKA Moscow didn't really get any sustained time in the offensive zone until the last couple minutes of that first period.
Well, that's kind of been CSKA's game plan or game this entire tournament. Even in that first game where they beat the East Coast Selects, who, by the way, is in the final, 7-1, they didn't have much zone time. It just, they found the way to get those odd man rushes, those breakaway passes, the long two-line pass, to get past, and they capitalized on every single one of those. So that's what they're going to be looking for in the second period, to get past Western Canada.
And they really are able to do that with a goaltender like Mikhail Egorov, who has played very well for them so far throughout the tournament.
Well, yes, and we saw this against Team Finland as well in the quarterfinal game. It was Dutov in that game, and they felt like they can make those risky plays, those long passes, because they know they had Dutov in the back to clean up any mess that they might make.
And we'll be back in a few minutes for the second period, as the ice is just being cleaned at the moment. So stay with us, as we will have the call for the second period in a few minutes.
How dare you question my integrity? Of course you can. We'll get yours. Let's wait until they get both nets on the moorings. Right. I don't think they will, but what we saw in the other tournament, or the other game, was they were using the backup goalie or the other goalie that they haven't been using for this game, and then in the championship and bronze medal, they use the regular one. And we're seeing that with CSK. Utah is the regular goalie. And for the other one,
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this game between Western Canada and CSKA Moscow. We are tied at 2 here in this game, and after our medal games today, we will have an all-star game, and the all-star roster was announced yesterday, and there's a few players on both teams here in this matchup who made the all-star roster. One player that I really enjoy watching, Jordan Gavin, for Western Canada. He made the team, and he's leading the Western Canada team in points, and it's very fitting that he has made it onto that all-star team.
well, in this game, there are 9 players that are playing in that all-star team. Like you mentioned, Jordan Gavin is the highlight of it. He has 8 goals and 10 assists so far in the tournament. So he is a high-profile player in that game. His line mate, Thomas Mersick, is also there. Those two combined have been fantastic. And the stalwart defenseman, Finn McLaughlin, for Western Canada, has been named to the team as well.
And there was a chance there for Mersick in the slot, but that got blocked as it comes out of the zone. But here comes number 71, Froloff, over the line with the puck. And it's back to the point, and they can't hold it in as that's brought out by Shervin, who couldn't hold the line. And that's Vaughn trying to get it out, and he does get it out to the neutral zone, but not very far as it's picked up again by number 28, Tymanoff, and that's just going to be offside as it was intercepted by a Western Canada player.
And looking at the European team, there are 6 CSKA players on that team. So you're looking first in net, Daniela Dutov, who was outstanding in that quarterfinal game against Finland, made the team. You got Matvey Shurinin, Arsen Timasov, Zelanti Kazushko, Alexei Donsov, and Timur Cole is stalwart defenseman for Team CSKA. So a heavy presence for CSKA in that all-star game.
And I'm not surprised by that at all because they have so many phenomenal players on this team and players that can really turn a game around for their team. Alexei Donsov, he's probably the best one on the team, having scored the majority of their points and leading them offensively. As here's a chance for Moscow. That's number 22, who just couldn't get a shot off on the back end. That was Mikhail Komarov. And here's Mikhail Komarov in the near corner with it, battling for the puck. And he plays it down low for his teammate, number 16, Maxim Zaitsev. And they play a little give and go. Maxim Zaitsev has it behind the net. And he comes out towards the point, plays it over to the point for number 6, Barbershin. And it's played down low. And Zaitsev threw it out towards the slot, but no one was there, and it comes all the way down the ice towards the goaltender, Egorov. And it gets flipped up, but that's picked up by Vaughn, and that's number 97 bringing it over the line. Heslop, and that's in on Egorov for a save, as we'll have a face-off to the left of Egorov.
Well, just one more note on that All-Star game. With 6 CSKA players in it, that is the most of any team in the game. It just goes to show the individual talent that that team has. With all the other teams, they have around 3. East Coast Selects have 4. So that just shows how strong that CSKA team is.
And they are probably the strongest team down the lineup in this tournament.
They also have more players than anybody else in this tournament.
That's very true also, as a lot of these kids have played together also and have built a strong chemistry.
There are only 2 players on CSKA that do not have a point.
And it's thrown up ice by number 21, but it comes back the other way, and here's Celebrini bringing it over the line as he's getting up in the play, and that was fired just wide as Egorov fell, looking to try and make a save. Arpin's back for it in his zone. He passes it across for Celebrini. He throws it up the boards, and that's going to be flipped up and out of play at the benches.
So Quinton had a chance, Quinton Amundsen, our other play-by-play commentator, had a chance to talk to the head coach of the Western Selects just to get a sense of who to watch for on this team. It just so happened that he named the 3 All-Stars for Western Canada. He said Thomas Mercick is arguably the most complete player in the 06 age group. Jordan Gavin is a power forward that has a high compete level, plays with grit and an edge. And Finn McLaughlin is a big defenseman that thinks the game 3 plays ahead, has great poise, and is very honest. And there's a bit of a commotion over on the Western Canada bench as Jason Nicoletz, who I just spoke about, is having a bit of a discussion with the referees. Apparently, there is number 19 for Western Canada. That is
Caswell.
Costco. He is in the area of the penalty box, so there might be a penalty being called.
And we're just waiting as the refs are talking it over. And,
well, there also might just be an argument about where the face-off is going to be, but the penalty box door is open for Coswell to enter, and they're very animated behind the bench there.
And I believe that's going to be a delay of game for Caswell as he flipped the puck over the boards.
Well, Western Canada knows they can't afford to make those type of mistakes and give CSKA an opportunity like this because they know it might hurt them in the end of the game.
And the puck's run back to the point, but it's blocked out in front by Arpin. And here's Mercick, who fires it down the ice and clears it. And Egorov will play it back for his defenseman, number 28, Time's off. And it's brought up the ice by number 52, who brings it in over the line, Porshkov. And he's down low with the puck. And he comes along the near boards. And he's looking for an outlet towards the front of the net. He can't find one, so he throws it behind the net. And they look to get it out in front, but that was blocked by Vaughn and thrown down the ice. And Egorov will play it again for his defender, and that was almost picked up by Ricci. And that was
Ricci has been very good on the forecheck and just getting that puck out of his zone.
When I've been watching Ricci, I've thought of almost a little type of a robber type player, as he's able to get around players very easily. And he sneaks up on players and surprises them at the last second when they have the puck.
Well, Ryder Ricci plays in Kelowna. I believe he has 3 points in this tournament.
And the puck gets thrown back into the zone by Celebrini. There's 30 seconds left in the penalty to Caswell as he's ready to step back onto the ice.
I apologize. That's 3 goals and 4 assists in the tournament.
And it's brought over the line by number 8, Kozko. And there's a slapper from the point by number 10, Shervin. And they throw it towards the front of the net. And it went straight through the crease and out the other side as Shervin plays it back. And they get it across the far boards, and there's the goaltender tapping the stick for the end of the penalty. Caswell steals the puck, plays it up for Celebrini, who brings it over the line. Celebrini waits and holds the puck looking for a pass as he had no shot, and that was thrown to the front of the net by Fawn. But here comes out number 5, Rodenoff with the puck, and it's thrown around the boards. Caswell looked to grab it, but he couldn't. And that's Celebrini who plays it up the far boards, and Caswell was there, but he lost control of the puck. And they're battling as in the far corner. No one can get it out just yet, and it gets flipped up into the neutral zone and brought right back in, but that's going to be offside. So some tense action there as Caswell was able to get out of the box and steal the puck away from the defender on the power play. And he played it up for Celebrini, who had an opportunity for a shot but couldn't get one off. We'll have a face-off now just outside of CSKA Moscow's zone. And it's won forward by Western Canada, but they can't hold the puck. And it's played out, and that puck went right past number 91, Arseny Vorobev.
So a little bit more on Jason Nicolette. He's the assistant coach of the Nate Oops men hockey team of the Alberta Colleges Athletics Conference, and he currently has a perfect season going on over there with 36-0.
That is very impressive, as it is hard to even win 10 consecutive games in any hockey league.
And the motto of his team here, greasy.
That is a good motto to have, as I like the players that get into those greasy areas and get into the corner, battle for the puck, and look to carry it out on their own, as those are the type of players that work hard for your team. And I've seen a few of those types of players here on Western Canada. One in particular is Ricci, who's smaller, but he's not afraid to go into the corners and battle against the bigger players. As the puck's behind the net, and Hutzel tried to play it up, and they get it out of the zone. And this is going to be Mercick carrying it over the line. Backhands it towards the net, but that's steered aside by Egorov. And it's down low behind Moscow's net. They play it up for number 21, Utva. And that gets thrown up for Matveyko, who throws it in over the line, and it's in the far corner. And Ricci's there for it, and he almost gets it out of the zone, and it's thrown towards the goaltender, and he will cover it up for a face-off.
Well, yesterday, for our Western Canada audience, I talked about Bolzano and the food that's here. Let's face it, that's the important thing when you're in Italy. But there's also a very athletic aspect to this town. They host an annual running competition every year on New Year's Eve since 1975. There's a Giro del Tolomiti mountain bike racing that's been there for the last 42 years. They've also had a professional handball, soccer, rugby, fistball, and softball, and hockey teams in this area. So they know their sports.
They really do, and I saw someone actually running this morning when I was on my way to the arena.
And hiking, cycling, motorbiking, climbing are some of the popular things that do here as well.
And this is going to be a penalty against this CSKA in Moscow, and that's Dmitry Utva going to the box. So now Western Canada will have an opportunity on the power play to maybe go up by a goal just before the 10-minute mark of this opening, or this second period, as Celebrini has it at the near point. He passes it for McLaughlin, who passes it down along the near boards, or far boards to Ricci, and McLaughlin passes it to Celebrini, who winds up and fires one, and that was blocked out in front, and Celebrini gets the puck in the neutral zone, brings it in over the line, and looks to play it for Gavin, who looks to get it down low, and Celebrini held it in at the line, passes it over for McLaughlin, who gives it right back, and it's played down low for Gavin. And Gavin plays it deeper in the zone for Mercick, who tried to throw it across for Ricci, but he couldn't get there as the play got broken up, and Celebrini's back in his zone for it, and he falls in his goaltender's crease behind the net, and there's a penalty, as that's going to go against Celebrini, who took out Donsoff behind the net.
And did you hear that roar, both from the CSKA bench and from the crowds that have been all over this game?
Yeah, it was very loud as they were looking for that penalty, and they're going to get it, and we're going to have 59 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey.
Well, 4-on-4 gives an advantage to CSKA because of the talent that they've had. So Canada is going, or Western Canada is going to need to buckle down and make sure that front of the net area is clear and help out their goalie, Brenner Fife.
Yeah, they really are. And Fife, he's actually had a little bit of time to rest and sit back in his zone, as there was a lot of neutral play, neutral ice play a few minutes ago, and then there was a power play, so he's had a few minutes of rest, as that was almost picked off by Canton in the offensive zone, and this is brought in over the line by number 22, Mikhail Komarov, and it's thrown up for Arpin, who gets it over the line. He winds up for a shot, and that was blocked, and there's the penalty's over now, so we have a minute power play time for CSKA Moscow, and they get a shot in the high slot, and Fife turned that aside, and McLaughlin fires it down the ice, and to alleviate some pressure so he can also let his line mates change. And Moscow's looking to get back on the offensive as it's brought over the line, and they were held to the outside by Mercick there for the moment. Mercick gets the puck and fires it out, but it was held at the line by number 26, and there's a shot towards the net, and that was played off of Fife's stick, and there was an opportunity, but no one could get a stick on it, and they get it at the line, and they shoot it towards the net. That was gloved down by McLaughlin, and it went wide, and it plays back to the point. There's 8 seconds left here in the power play to Celebrini, who's waiting to come back on the ice. And it's thrown back to the point one more time. Celebrini's back on the ice. They throw it towards the net, and it's loose in front, and it's there still. And they couldn't get a rebound shot off as the puck gets cleared from the front of the net. And that puck gets held in for the moment as McLaughlin plays it up for Celebrini, who brings it through the neutral zone and over the line. And he loses control of the puck, and he gets it at the near boards and plays it down low. And that's Canton who's going after it in the far corner. And he can't come up with it as a player fell on top of it. Ricci held it in at the far wall. And Moscow's going to get the puck out now. And here's number 71, Frolov, bringing it over the line. And he tried to make a move past the defender. And he gets it in down low. And he plays it back for his teammate. And they're in the corner still battling for it. And it's thrown towards the net, and that's stopped by Fife. There's a rebound in front. No one could get a stick on it. Frolov tries a spinning shot in the slot, but there wasn't enough power towards that shot. Frolov picks it up, and he has it behind the net. He's looking to pass it out. They get a shot towards Fife from a sharp angle, and he steers it aside to the near boards. And CSKA Moscow's really getting some offensive zone time now. And there's a penalty against Western Canada. And they're going to blow the whistle as the puck was underneath the player. And There was some pushing and shoving there at the line.
There was a trip in the corner by the Western Canadian player, which dumped the CSKA player, and that is number 7. I believe that's
Canton.
Yeah, so it's Catton, and that is going to give CSKA more time in the offensive zone. They have been the more desperate team at this stage of the game. They've never been in this position where they could be a goal away from losing a game and the tournament.
Yeah, it's definitely a tense situation here for both teams. More so for CSKA Moscow because they haven't been in a position like this all tournament, really, as they have dominated every opponent they faced so far. Not the case here in this game as they try to throw it out front to Donsoff, but they couldn't get the pass through. And this is brought out by Mersick, and he brings it in over the line. He's short-handed, and he brought it around the net. And Western Canada the Western Canada crowd wants a penalty on that call. And Mersick steals it in the offensive zone and tries to get a shot off that was blocked by number 28. Time is off, and it's held in by Mersick. He's going off for a change now.
There have been a lot of complaints by the teams usually facing CSKA, thinking there should be more calls going towards them.
And the puck gets brought over the line by number 28. Time is off. And it's taken, and Ricci was able to get it out and down the ice.
That is greasy if I've never seen it.
And it's thrown towards the front for Ricci, but he couldn't get a stick on it. And he's going to go off for a change now, as that's number 52, Porshkov, with the puck, and he's carrying it out of his zone. He gets it through the neutral zone and over the line. He cuts towards the slot. He backhands it towards the net, but that was stopped by Fife, who just stayed with him and made sure he had no angle for a shot. And Mersick clears it down the ice, and the penalty is almost over with 5 seconds left to go. There's 6 seconds left, and there's going to be a whistle on the play here.
And I believe it's going against Western Canada. Or the puck is coming back to center ice.
So we'll have
I believe there might have been a mistake where they called an icing when it shouldn't have been because it was a penalty. But because they make a mistake, the normal protocol is to put the puck back at center ice, which doesn't help Western Canada.
Well, the penalty's over now, and Canton got back on the ice as we're back to 5-on-5. Celebrini plays it up along the far boards. That's flipped up into the netting, so we'll have a face-off outside of the zone as that puck went up and out of play.
One player that we haven't seen from in this game for CSKA is Alexei Rodionov, who has been one of the fantastic defensemen, offensive defensemen in this tournament. He only has a goal and 3 points in this tournament, but he's somebody that this team relies on for offense from the back end. In 13 games this season for CSKA, he has 13 goals. And last season, in 11 games, he had 11 points, so he's a point-per-game player.
And Alexei Rodionov, he's played very well through the tournament so far also. Might not have the points to show it, but he's definitely been a good, solid defenseman for his team, as here's Ricci with the shot over the line, and they get a rebound, and that's covered up by Egorov, but the puck comes loose, and Canton plays it out. They get another shot off. That was Hutzel, and they get another shot, and the goaltender's down, and the whistle's blown, and there's a couple players down in the crease, and there's some pushing and shoving as the whistle was blown. There was no signal for a goal, so we'll have a face-off.
And that's the type of thing the referees have been letting go this entire game. Mostly it's been on Brenner Fifesen for Western Canada, but this time CSKA Moscow is getting a taste of their own medicine by the crowd in front of their net.
And it was very tense moments for both teams there, as there was Ricci in there battling for the puck, and so was Canton. And both of those players are a little smaller, but they weren't afraid going in against those bigger.
They take the word greasy to heart.
They really do, this Western Canada team. As here's Gavin along the boards with it, who plays it down for Caswell. Caswell tried to backhand it towards the front of the net and couldn't get it through. He tries to get it to Mersick, and he couldn't get a shot off as Gavin has it in the near corner. He plays it back looking for Caswell, who comes up with the puck. He looks to bring it out in front, but couldn't get a clean shot off. And here's Porshkov bringing it out of the zone now for CSKA Moscow, and he fires it towards Fife, who just left the puck there for a defender, but it got intercepted, and that's number 18 down there below the net with the puck. Gleb Lagoda. And it gets thrown out in front and cleared by Mersick, and it gets played out by Ricci, and there's going to be a penalty on the play as Ricci had the legs taken out from under him.
And two things on that. First of all, the Western Canadian coaches finally working the referees to get a call against CSKA. The other thing with CSKA taking a penalty in the offensive zone, never a good thing to do if you are in a tie game or in general. Those are usually the ones that come back to bite you.
They really are, as Porshkov is, or no, this is going to be number 5.
And I believe there is a timeout called by Western Canada. There are 3 minutes left to play in this game, and they're going to have 2 of those minutes on the power play. So they have every opportunity to win this game in regulation.
And this is a big opportunity as Alexei Rodionov is going to be in the box for the next 2 minutes of this game. So they have a real opportunity. One of CSKA Moscow's better defenders is going to be in the box. So
everything on paper is looking Western Canada's way. But as we've seen in this tournament, CSKA tends to get offended whenever something doesn't go their way, whether it's a goal called back, a penalty called against them, or a goal is scored against them. So we've seen a lot of shorthanded chances by CSKA all tournament. And I just want to add, if this game does end in a 2-2 draw, or this period ends in 2-2 draw, we're going to have 5 minutes of 3-on-3 and then a shootout.
And here's a chance for Gavin at the side of the net, and he put that just high above the net, and that went into the netting.
And wouldn't that be exciting, a 3-on-3 overtime between these two teams?
It would be very exciting. I had the opportunity to call a brief 3-on-3 overtime yesterday, but with pro hockey, and they won it early in that overtime. And Ricci brings it over the line for his team, and a bit of a different line combination here as Ricci is playing with Gavin and Mersick right now. And the puck comes out of the zone. And this is going to be number 22 who gets it up ice. He's alone in the offensive zone, killing some time. And he's down there. And sorry, no, that was number 28, Arsen Timazov, who was down there with the puck. And that's Mersick who throws it in behind the net. And Gavin will go get it in the near corner. And Gavin plays it back to the point for Celebrini. Gavin gets it back. And he's looking for an opportunity for a shot. Plays it down low, looking for Mersick, who couldn't handle the pass cleanly. And so Gavin will get it right back and throws it towards the point for Celebrini. McLaughlin has it. He misplayed the puck a little bit there, and he gives it to Ricci. And Western Canada hasn't gotten anyone to the front. Mersick was there briefly for a moment, and Gavin gets it back to the point for Celebrini, who gets a shot off. And that was deflected up above the net and thrown to the side wall now. And here's an opportunity for Moscow, as here's number 18 who's back for it. He tried to play it back for number 26, who couldn't handle it cleanly to get a shot off. And puck's behind the net. There's 10 seconds left here in the power play. A minute 13 left in the period as it comes over the line. And here's Mersick, who's trying to get it out towards the front of the net. And there's a battle in the corner. The penalty's over, and Rodionov comes back onto the ice. There's a battle in the far corner. and it goes behind the net. There's a play out front for Gavin, who had his stick checked, and here comes CSKA, and that's going to be number 10, bringing it out into the offensive zone. They get a shot towards the net, and there's a rebound, and there's a player spilled behind the net, and the Moscow crowd wanted a penalty, but they didn't get one as Celebrini carries the puck over the line, and he throws it towards the net, and that went right off the post, and it's down low, and Caswell was there, and he got nudged off the puck. And there's 20 seconds left here in this period, a 2-2 tie, and this is Vaughn back for it, and he plays it up, and it comes over the line now, and there's a shot for Canton that didn't get through, and Moscow's trying to get up ice quick, but they're not going to have enough time to get a shot off, as that's the end of this second period. We're tied at 2, and we're going to have 5 minutes of 3-on-3 overtime.
Well, when you look at this 3-on-3 overtime situation, you're going to look at Jordan Gavin, Thomas Mercick, probably Finn McLaughlin will be with them. So those are the 3 key players that you're going to look on Western Canada. Obviously, Russia, it's the top goal, it's the top scorers, probably Alexei Donsov, Daniela Poroshkov, and
Alexei
number
Rodionov.
5, Alexei Rodionov, will likely be the defenseman that stays with them.
And
now, what if you're a goalie on this? You really have to be well positioned. You can't let yourself commit too far to one end and allow them to have an open net. And as we saw in your game yesterday, be wary of any penalty situation as well. You need to stay disciplined, because you are on an Olympic size ice surface. There's plenty of space, even if it's 4-on-3.
There really is, and if I'm a goaltender here in this period, my mindset is keep things simple. Do not overthink the play, because these forwards and defensemen who are out here, they're going so fast. They're not trying to make a fancy play out in front or a fancy pass. They're going to look to get whatever they can on net. So you just need to stay in position and look to make good saves and try and have good rebound control.
So it's Owen Hutzel there with Mercick and Gavin so far. The CSKA is just talking to the rest of their coaches, are just talking to their bench, making sure they know exactly the game plan that they want to go with. And we are about to go underway. That is Froloff is out there. Nope, I apologize. Nope, I was right. That is Froloff as well as Shuravin, and I believe that is Rodionov out there as well.
It is Rodionov, as Froloff passes it back for Rodionov, and Rodionov passes it up for number 10 Shuravin, who gets it in over the line, and there's going to be a face-off to the left of Fife as he held the puck.
And even though they don't have those 2 top scorers out there in that first shift, even though, well, they're getting a line change now, Shuravin had 3 goals and 3 assists in this tournament as well.
And it's 1 forward, and Gavin brings it in over the line, and he's cutting wide. He stops up and tries a shot, but that was blocked and went behind the net. And you can hear the Russian fans chanting ЦСКА, rooting for their team, as the puck comes over the line, and that's going to be number 28 battling in the far corner with it for the puck, and that's they get it back for number 32, Tamir Cole, at the line. And here's Porshkov with the puck, throws it over for 28. Timazov, and Timazov has it again, and he can't get a shot off, so he plays it back for 32 Cole, and they take a slapper that went wide, and Gavin picks up the puck, plays it up for Mercick, who couldn't get it over the line, and it's held in. Hutzel's back for it, and Hutzel throws it up looking for Canton, who's in alone, and he gets a backhand try off, and the goaltender's down. The puck's loose, but Canton can't get the puck, and it's getting cleared now by CSKA, and here they come back up ice, and this is Froloff, who's just going to be offside, as that was number 5, Rodanoff, who was a step ahead of the play.
Well, Catton just ran out of space to try and lift that puck with his backhand. It just got into Egorov's groin area and stayed there. And he was tripped up on the play by the save, and which led to that other fast break, but it ended up offside for CSKA.
Yes, it was. And the puck gets intercepted in the offensive zone by Froloff, and here comes Rodanoff with the puck. Celebrini breaks that up and throws it up looking for Ricci, who gets the puck, and here's a one-on-one opportunity for Ricci, who lost the puck, and Catton tried to pick it up off of Rodanoff, and he's pestering Rodanoff in the offensive zone, can't get control of it, and it's brought in over the line. Here's an opportunity for a 2-on-1, and there's a shot. There was a rebound for Froloff on the doorstep, but he couldn't get a hold of it, and they try and throw it towards the net, but it gets cleared by Celebrini towards the boards, and there's a hard hit, and Froloff is down, and he is not moving. And the CSKA
play has been
crowd,
called. There has no penalty being called so thus far that they haven't discussed, and I expect CSKA is going to want to have a conversation with the officials.
They definitely are, as the CSKA crowd is being very vocal. After that hit, they thought that there should have been a penalty called immediately, as Froloff went down hard. It looked like a pretty clean play to me. Both players were just going into the boards. They collided unintentionally with each other and the board, so I don't think there should be a penalty on the play.
Well, he's grabbing his wrist and is hunched over, so he's going to get off the ice and get tended to. It appears it's still going to be 3-on-3.
So we have 2:33 left to go here in this overtime period, and we've had lots of action at both ends of the ice so far.
So that's Kuramoto with Mercick and Gavin, I believe, out there.
And Gavin has the puck over the line, plays it across for Kuramoto, who fires it, and there's an opportunity as the puck was loose, but that was held by Egorov for a face-off.
He got there just in time as Gavin was hunting in that slot, in that garbage goal area, just to poke it in.
He was definitely lurking right in front of the net there.
Lurking in the weeds.
And the puck gets won back, but it can't be held in by Kuramoto, who goes back for it. And Kuramoto has it in his zone, and he brings it through the neutral zone now. He gets over the blue line, he cuts wide, and he stops up. He passes it back for Mercick at the line, and they trade places. And Kuramoto gets the puck now. He's got an opportunity, gets it, and they had an open net at the side, but Gavin couldn't get control of it, and it was thrown up for Porshikov, but he couldn't handle it. The pass, as he was behind all of the Western Canada players. And the puck comes back up for Gavin, who brings it over the line. He stops up, and he'll cut towards the front of the net, fires, that's put aside by the blocker of Egorov. Gavin gets it along the near boards, tries another shot that gets blocked, and he'll get it again. And he throws it over for Celebrini, who couldn't get a clean shot off. And the puck comes out of the zone. There's 1:20 left to go here in this overtime period, and that's broken up by Celebrini.
Play.
And Canton was behind the defense again, but they couldn't get the puck to him. And the puck gets held in by number 28 at the line for Moscow. And it's down low behind the net. They try and bring it out front, and there was no call on the play, and there's a slap shot that went wide. And the puck comes out of the zone now, and this is Canton, and he throws it towards the front looking for Castwell, and there's under a minute left to go here in the period, and the refs are just look like they're going to let everything go from this point on, unless it is clearly obvious, and they throw it towards the front of the net, and Fife will cover it up with 35 seconds left to go in the period.
And there's a lot of frustration on both sides. Gavin had an open net that gaping, and he couldn't get a handle on the puck. And Timur Kuhl throws the puck for the open man, and it goes off that open man's stick and down the ice. He slams his stick in frustration as we're 35 seconds away from a shootout.
Yeah, that was Porshkov who couldn't handle that pass in the neutral zone as he was behind the defense. And there's a scramble off the draw. It's thrown towards the boards. Canton tried to get it out, but it was held in by Rodinoff. It's played down low. Porshkov has it, tried to come out with it, but Arpin stole it. And there's 20 seconds left. And Mercick plays it up looking for Canton, but it was out of his reach. And Mercick has it. He waits for Canton to get back onside. And he does, and they get a shot off. There's 7 seconds left now. Canton's looking to get one more opportunity, but doesn't look like he's going to get it as we are going to go into a shootout.
So, with the shootout, I believe it is still a 3-man shootout. After the third person has gone and it is still ongoing and tied, then the same player can come out again and again to end it. So I saw this earlier. Well, we both have seen a shootout game earlier. The East Coast Selects against the Finnish Selects, when I saw Dean Letourneau of the East Coast Selects come out 4 times and score four shootout goals to beat the Finnish Selects. It was essentially a one-on-one battle between Letourneau and Aaron Kivaharu, he came out 3 times and scored 3 goals, but just couldn't get that last one.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting situation here by both teams because they both have a number of players that they can try to go to. CSKA Moscow definitely has more that they can go to.
Well, again, like we said earlier, they also have a bigger roster. But you only need 3, and then you can send the same guy over and over again.
And it looks like Mercick is going to be the first shooter for Western Canada.
And Western Canada definitely has 3 with Mercick, Coswell, and Gavin.
And Mercick gets the signal to go, and he gets the puck. And he comes in, and he fires it, and that's stopped by Egorov's right pad as Egorov came out far on Mercick to cut down any angle as he just stayed with him the whole way.
Well, it appeared like Mercick was going to shoot no matter what happened, and Egorov read that well.
And here's number 9, Donsov, the leading scorer for CSKA, coming in on the goaltender, and he roofs it on Fife right over the glove.
Well, Donsov, he is such a great shooter. He can perfectly place a puck anywhere in the net, and he knew exactly what he was going to do, and Fife really had very little chance of getting that.
So here's Gavin looking to even things up for his team as he comes in on Egorov, and he cuts towards the back end, and that's stopped by Egorov, who just stuck with him.
So CSKA can end the game here with the goal. And as soon as he turns around, then we can see his number.
This is number 52, Porshkov, who's going to take the shot.
Who is the second leading scorer and the sniper of the team. 8 goals in the tournament.
Porshkov cuts into the slot. He fires it, and that's stopped by Fife, who keeps his team in it.
So Caswell, he must score here in order to extend this shootout.
It's a lot of weight on both the goaltender and shooter's shoulders here right now. Very tense moment as Caswell picks the puck up slowly. He gains some speed. He tries to put it in on the far side, but he can't beat Egorov, who stopped it with the toe, and CSKA Moscow will move on to the gold medal game as they go and swarm their goaltender Egorov, and this is a very fitting end to this game as both teams played a terrific game, but unfortunately only one can win it.
And the Western Canada, they have a lot of frustration in their own end. They played a fantastic game. They should not be down on themselves. This is a 1-goal shootout win for CSKA. Anybody's game. Brenner Fife played as well a great game. He kept his team in it. CSKA was swarming at certain points in this game, and it could have very easily been a 5-2 game for CSKA if it weren't for Fife. So don't be down on yourselves in Western Canada. This is a great team.
They really are a great team, and they'll have a chance to battle for bronze against Pro Hockey a little later this afternoon before our gold medal game, which will be between CSKA Moscow and East Coast.
So that is a rematch of the opening ceremonies game, as in that game, CSKA dominated the East Coast by defeating them 7-1 in that game. And I expect it to be a very loud building.
It will be very loud, and there you see a CSKA Moscow flag on the ice, and there's another one as two players got it from the crowd.
Well, it's a little too early to celebrate like that, which is the Canadian mentality, but let them have fun. They'll be ready for the gold medal game.
So I will be back for the call for the bronze medal game. Adam will be with Quinton for the gold medal game, and all three of us will be on air for the All-Star game later this afternoon.
And the gold medal game will be at 3:30 p.m. our time in Italy, so that's 6 hours behind for you guys in Canada, in North America. And the All-Star game will be at 5:30.
And thank you for tuning in. We'll be back a little later on for our next game.
So do you guys want to go eat?
Yeah.
Right now? You have tickets?
Yeah, I have 3.
Yes, it is. It gets too annoying to have on my wrist while I'm doing the game.